Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Time for another hobby update. I've been pretty busy painting different things. As you can see in front of you, I've got a piece of terrain here that I finished today and mocked up and glued down on this piece of wood from Dollar Tree. Yeah, so let's get started with it. This is from the War Games Atlantic Markets and Barricades box set. I got each individual sprue from Sprue Dude. It was a lot of fun to put together. I put two of the barricades together, which you'll see in a moment. And then with what was left over, I had enough for a market. So with what was left over, that's what I made. And pretty happy with the way it turned out. There's enough space in here miniatures can walk through for the most part. You know, it's enough that it can be used. It's a usable piece of terrain. I thought about just leaving these pieces loose and putting them on the table as and when was needed, but I don't know, something about that just didn't feel quite right. So I went with this instead. And like I said, it's a usable piece of terrain. Models can be on it, fight on it, shoot from it, whatever the case may be. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm gonna finish up the base later. I say later, probably later tonight or tomorrow even, but or at least try to get it finished. I don't know if I've got enough flock and loose grass and everything to do it up until I can make a hobby run, but I'm gonna at least get it started. So this first piece of terrain finished up. Like I said, I finished up a couple of the barricades, or I made up a couple of the barricades even. And here's the first one. Really happy with the way it came out. Real quick job, all contrast paints. Primed it with Wraithbone. Did all the wood besides the chest in the same color. Did the chest in a different color just to differentiate it, so it wasn't all just one solid brown line going across here. But that's the first barricade. Pretty happy with how it turned out. And here's the second one. I'm also happy with the way it turned out. This one, same thing, wood, all the same color, got metallic bits here on the wheel and the barrel and everything, and I don't know how well that showed up. I may have been out of shot, but yeah, pretty happy with how it turned out. These will work great on my Barons War and Pillage battlefields, and maybe even Frostgrave. Up next is going to be models, or miniatures, that I've painted up over the past week or so. I showed off the zombies last week, and it was 5 of them. And I went to make some more and realized there's 6 to a sprue, so I had missed one that was primed up and ready to be painted. And I found it, and here it is. One part of it was already painted blue, so I just decided just to paint all of its clothing blue. Went with the same skin tone. It's got that yellow eye. The helmet's the same, but I'm real happy with the way he turned out. And it'll work great for games I need zombies in. Up next is 4, I want to say, Dark Age Goths from War Games Atlantic. I'm pretty sure they're from War Games Atlantic, and I'm pretty sure they're Goths, but I'm not exactly sure what the box set is or anything like that. So, light went dim. But yeah, here they are. I had one painted up already that I had painted up months ago. And I had 4 more to finish. I'm going to use these guys probably as wildlings for my Game of Thrones version of Barons War. Because they're lightly armored. I mean, they've got a shield, they've got an axe, and a helmet, like on this guy. This guy does, and you know, I think it'll make a good looking wildling. No, they don't have furs and stuff like that, but hey, it's all right. It's my models, my games. I'll do what I want. Here's the next one. And then 2 archers. Yeah, these guys just simple paint jobs with contrast paints. And I think they'll work great as wildlings or basic infantry even for the Barons War, depending on how I use them. All right, up next is more Game of Thrones inspired models that I showed off last week. Up first is this guy. Still don't know what house I'm gonna have him from. If I have him from any house, I'm sure I will, but I'll have to figure up a banner bearer and a house sigil. So there's some of the basing texture came off. Oh well. There's the first one. Up next is my Baratheon Lord. He's a Baratheon because the feather's yellow. That's all you need to know. Trying to show with some decent lighting. These Perry miniature models, they're pretty cool. A lot of fun to put together, and I think I've got a sprue that I'm going to review at some point in the future that I'll probably use to make up some more lords and stuff like that. Probably for Game of Thrones, but never mind the Bill Hooks is also a cool sounding game. Or not, never mind the Bill Hooks, that is a cool sounding game. But Here Comes the Ruckus seems really fun. It's a skirmish version of Nevermind the Bill Hooks, and it just sounds really cool. So I may give that a try. I've got enough 100 Years of War and War of the Roses models to use for the retinues to just try it out, if nothing else. So last is Edmund Tully of House Tully. He with the free-handed fish on the front and back turned out okay. It's not great. I think you can tell what it is, but it's all right. The red, I'm happy with the way the red and the blue turned out. Kind of swiggles like it's supposed to, but I think it looks good. You know, you should be able to tell it's House Tully if you know you're playing Game of Thrones. But this is Edmund Tully. I'm basing my Game of Thrones on the time of Aegon's conquest. So before the main book series, in any of the shows that's come out so far to this point. So this is Edmund Tully. This is the Durrandon Lord. It's not Baratheon. Baratheon was, I think it was Oberyn Baratheon. I forget the first name. Was a bastard half-brother of Aegon Targaryen, or was believed to be a bastard half-brother of Aegon Targaryen. And whenever the Stormlands were conquered by Aegon, but the Baratheon was gifted the lands and everything. So he took the title and the name and the house words. Ours is the Fury, or ours is the Storm. It's one or the other. As his own, and that's when House Baratheon became a thing. So if I play a later version in the timeline, Game of Thrones, it's my Baratheon Lord. But right now it'll be Durrandon. Like I said, House Tully. An unnamed one as of yet. I've got Lannister, Aaron. House Dane, I believe. House Peak. And then my favorite one, Targaryen. So that is what I have painted so far as of yet. I have some of these other models painted up, and they don't have house colors on them, so this guy may just, I can say he's whatever house I want from whichever kingdom I want to. I think is what I'm going to end up doing. But yeah, so that's been it. That's it from me, guys, with this painting update and just showing off some of these models I've painted up in the past for a Game of Thrones version of the Barons War. A lot of fun. Had a lot of fun painting everything, putting everything together. I'm really excited about that market stall little setup. So I'll show it off once I'm done with it and it's finished, so you guys can see what the finished product looks like. But remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions or anything, leave them down in the comments. I get back to every comment. But when you subscribe, be sure to hit the bell icon and select all. It are automatically set to personal, and if you set it to all, you'll get a notification every time I upload a video, so that way you don't miss a video. It really helps out the channel. I really appreciate it. You guys have a good rest of your day.